Hello, welcome to MCFC 9320 PUBcast. I don't know how this show's going to go tonight, mate, but hello, Stan. Hello, Paddy. No Anne-Marie tonight. She's not feeling well, so much love to Anne-Marie. Hope you're feeling well soon, mother. Good evening to everybody who's in the chat as well. We don't do things like other. I'm not having a go at any other fan channels and stuff like that, but we seem to react a little bit different, guys, don't we? Whereas, yeah, we are asked what's happening, with results and stuff like that, but we don't get embroiled in all the combustion and stuff like that, do we, Stanley?
No, a little bit too long in the tooth to get het up about that. It's to be quite honest with you, anyway. When I went down on Wednesday, everything seemed all right. Yes. Whether he doesn't listen or not, I don't know. But
Stan, tell him it was your first match in God knows how long. I took Stan to the match, and it was like that. What I've had a chat with Pep and I've sorted it, and we come away with a 3-0 win, and it was just like happy days, wasn't it, mate?
It was at half time. I said to you, don't call me out on a job like this on a wet Tuesday night. Right? I could have done that. I could have done that at home. I could have done that at home. Rubbish. So it was anyway. I don't think he listened properly, and we got the 2-2 draw at Palace. But that's what you do in it when you call in when things aren't going right. You call in the experts, and we get it fixed.
Paddy, I'm going to get straight into it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Kyle Walker. And I'll be honest, do I think he needs to move on, whether it's January or the summer? I absolutely think he needs to move on for his own career, not just to stop what's going on. However, what I refuse to do, mate, is absolutely launch attacks on him on social media and at Kyle Walker and post pictures of him in a terrorist vest and stuff like that. That's our fan base. Not all our fan base. It's a minority. I'm old school where I'll back the players. Yeah, I'll have a bloody good old moan and stuff like that. But there's a difference between that and going that one step further, isn't there, mate?
I think for me, I was thinking about that today. I've been off social media. I did a digital detox there for a while. So I haven't been really on social media since the last PUBcast. But Kyle Walker came in I think it was 2017 or 18 or something like that. The time Zabaleta and all moved on. I don't remember Zabaleta getting the abuse that Kyle Walker's getting.
Absolutely.
Yes, look. There's a bit of surgery that's needed. I think, Walker needs to be moved on. But he has served that club well since 2017 or 18, whatever year he came in. I think John Stones could possibly move on as well because he seems to be injured more times than he's playing. He plays more for England than he does for Man City. But I think Pep will have to do what he did back 7-8 years ago when he bought 3 or 4 defenders. He need 2 or 3 more defenders, unfortunately. But I don't get all this abuse. Like that man has done more for the club, more good for the club than he has done bad. Like I remember when Zabaleta's leagues went, it was heartbreaking to see. But nobody got on Zabaleta's back and give him dogs abuse. Like, why are they doing it to Kyle Walker?
I think, Paddy, because since Zabaleta retired, social media's moved on and people have realised you can monetize hate. And it doesn't matter whether it's politics or football. People who are slagging the club, such as Birdbrain, Goldbridge, and all these other fan sites, it's not just City fans, it's other fan sites as well, whereby they'll slag teams and they'll try and generate money out of it. And you see it happening at City now. We're not immune. We've got a young fan base. They're not used to having what
but Stan,
is being called a crisis.
Stan, I said this last week, mate. It's not just the younger fan base, mate. Come on, because I'm
talking on the social. Sorry, I'm talking about the social media where Paddy was talking about Zabaleta.
Oh right, sorry, pal.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, you're right. It isn't. It's all right. I have to go through things all the time. You know, Pep took 2 or 3 goals to understand.
Sorry for interrupting you, Stan. See, even that comment there, the day Walker leaves, I can't wait. Really, that man has given 7 or 8 of his best years to Man City. Like, how dare you say that? I know you're entitled to your opinion, but he has a 7th of that club. He's won 6 Premier Leagues out of 7, and you can't wait for the day he leaves. I bet you couldn't wait for the day he came in when Zabaleta and the Mangala, I think it was the back line. Like, no, have a bit of respect.
And I think that's key, Paddy. I think that's key. It's the respect thing. Listen, I defended Kyle Walker more than he's defended for City of late. However, I've got that little bit of respect where I understand he needs to leave now. You know, I've got to the point where I'm not defending that much now. However, I've got bloody respect for the guy for exactly the reason you said.
Your mic is very echoey, Andy.
No, I think it stands.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, we all know, like, it's as plain as a nose in your face that his legs is gone. Yes, his legs used to get him out of a lot of trouble. But like this pile on one player, I don't get it. Like, you know, I really don't. Like, he's come to the end of his time. Like, what are these people like in real life when something comes to the end of their time? Do they just cast them aside? No, if they've another dog, it's giving them a bit of trouble. They just shoot the dog, or what do they do? You know, like the man deserves a lot of respect.
And you know something? I will even go as far. What Cade said, absolutely. And that's the difference between an opinion and going out all war on a player on social media. So I respect Cade's opinion, as I do with Amar's. Walker hate is not an illness. He is god awful, involved in every goal scored against us. Okay, let me say something, right? In your workplace, for those who work in your workplace, if somebody kept telling you, your colleagues, how awful you are, how rubbish you are, it's not that long before you start believing it. Now, if I'd like to think in my workplace, well, I'll use somebody else's workplace, Paddy. I'll use somebody else's. So Stan's workplace, but Paddy knows what I mean. So say in Stan's workplace, for instance. Now, if Stan's going through a tough time and he's not performing how we know he normally performs, do we start calling him shit? Do we start calling him god awful, or do we go, you're all right, Stan, you're going through a tough time, but you know something, we've got your back. We've got your back here. And his confidence will grow. If I kept saying, Stan, you're shit, he's going to start believing that. And just because footballers are on whatever amount of money, they're human beings at the end of the day. And there was a tweet from City lads, MCFC lads, earlier on, and it was brilliant. It was basically, would you actually call these players to the face? Well, stop hiding behind social media to do it, because at the end of the day, they read social media, the families read social media, including the kids and stuff like that. And imagine in social media where your dad or your mum or your son or whoever is being absolutely slaughtered in social media. Just stop the hate, because there's absolutely no need for it. Sorry,
he's come to the end of his time. It's like the greatest boxers in the world. They come to the end of their time. You know, like he's past his prime. He's approaching the golden years. You want to call them that? But that man has won us 100 points. He's won us the domestic quad. He's won us 6 or 7 Premier Leagues. Like, he doesn't really owe us anything, you know. Like, we should be giving him a round of applause and wishing him the best of luck for when he eventually does move on, which I think will be this summer. But
it needs to be for his own sanity and his own career. And just on that, Nabil, if you're waiting for the signed bride of Anne-Marie, she's actually waiting for a bigger, thicker marker than my Sharpie. And I'm sure once, I think, you know what they use for road markers and stuff like that? I think she's waiting for one of them to be delivered to sign it for you, apparently.
But did you see, Andy, did you see Silva's post-match interview when he says that there's only 20 players in the squad and 13 are only available? So this afternoon I went and I looked at that, and he's right. There's 22 players in the squad, but there's 3 goalkeepers. So like you have about 19 or 20 outfield players. And then if you start taking Rodri and Oscar Bob and stuff out of that, you are down to 13 or 14 players. So
I can tell you who they are.
Do you know something?
Because I've got this one lined up. You've got Akanji.
Stan.
You've got Akanji. You've got Aki. You've got Rodri. You've got Bob. You've got Stones, and you've got Kovacic, all unavailable.
That's 6, yeah.
Do you know something? Big Morg summed it up there. And if you think about them 3 words, Walker looks lost, that's quite sad, that, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell like, instead of the focus on Walker, right, this is my take on it. We can see, we all have eyes, and we all have some interpretation of a football match at different levels. Some are more skillful than others. Mm-hmm. We have a manager in charge who's apparently the best manager in the world. Surely he can see that the balls over the top of our high line defence is causing us problems. Is the onus not on him to say, look, I don't want you going any further than halfway between the 18-yard box and halfway line. So balls over the top don't cause us the problems that they're causing us. Do you know, like, they mocked Big Sam for years. Oh, he loft the ball off this. Big Sam went into the club when he was firefighting, and the first thing he did was don't concede. Mm-hmm. Don't concede.
And you know something? There's quite clear this problems with injuries. Every club has injuries, la-di-da-di-da. However, there's something fundamentally wrong. And sometimes when there's something fundamentally wrong, sometimes you have to look in the mirror. And I think some fans need to look in the mirror and go, maybe we're the problem. Now,
we have an Asian squad. That's the problem.
An Asian squad?
Yeah.
Have we? Listen.
Right, we have.
There's not much.
Aging.
Oh, aging. I thought you said we have an Asian squad. I said we don't.
No.
All right. It must be his
We've got an aging panel.
When you get them here in age again?
An aging panel? How dare you call Paddy for that?
That's all right, Star. I forgive you.
Let's talk about the match a little bit yesterday. You know, because at the end of the day, that's what we do. 1-0 down, and it was just like, here we go. And I'm just going to throw a positive here, and I don't know whether you'd agree or not. 1-0 down, we pull it back to 1-1. 2-1 down, we pull it back to 2-2. Now, at that point of that stupid second yellow card, what Rico got, by the way, I actually think that was a penalty for us. And when we've seen Casado today absolutely maim somebody near enough, he didn't even get a yellow card, and he goes on to win a penalty for Chelsea. However, I digress. So the positive for me yesterday, we actually come back from behind where we've not been doing that of late. So Ortega, could he have possibly, saved the first one? Possibly not, because it was so close. Great goal by Ireland. That was precision. In the main, there was some okay, not brilliant, some okay individual performances. We're not clicking at the moment. I thought Gundogan probably had his best game of the season for us, but that won't get noticed because of the result. I'm feeling sorry for Rico a little bit because he's being the new Ian Brightwell, where he's being put in all different positions and we're not understanding what his best position is. Do you get that, Stan?
He's becoming a cross with Ian Brightwell and the Edghill. People are just having a pop at him all the time. I mean, he's just turned 20 years old and he will still make mistakes in games because he's not even played 100 matches for us. And yet, straight away, moaning about it. The guy's won two. He's been in double figures for the last 2 seasons in appearances, and he's never known what it's like to not finish a season with a Premier League medal. There's an every chance he might do it now, but at 20 years old, he's doing all right. And like you say, Pep's not an idiot. He can see things that he's doing, and he's quite happy with him. Pep's happy with him. I don't have to be an happy clapper to say, well, all right, I'll go with what Pep's saying. Especially when you listen to some people who are moaning about it and then turning around and saying, well, why is Pep not playing a Kaki and a Kanji? They played well. They're injured. They can't play. Oh, well, what about Grealish? What about Doku? They played well on Wednesday. Yes, they did. They played very, very well. But they're coming back from injury. What do you want to do? Play them and then lose them again for 2 months?
Stan, you've got a bit.
We're having a lot of problems with him.
Come on, Stan.
Stan,
no, we're having.
You've got a bit of fire in your belly. And by the way, they only played well on Wednesday, was it? Because you was there, mate. They wanted to impress you.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes, Stan. Why didn't you go to Crystal Palace? It's your fault.
Well, not paying for it. I had to go out anyway. I had to get some soap for Christmas.
But what PH is saying now, you have to admit that some of the performances by some of the most senior players has been unacceptable. I do genuinely get that comment, but I don't know about you. I always try to do right. I always try to find reasons why. So on the back of that last comment, I don't like Walker starting as much as anyone else. However, he doesn't select himself. Pep does. I can't get behind the abuse. It's very distasteful and downright idiotic. 100%. So my reason behind that, and I'll use examples, and I keep saying it. Gundogan wasn't expecting to start for us every single game, pretty much. If our defense wasn't injury, if our defense was injury free or thereabouts, with the form of some of the senior players, Pep would take them out the firing line. He's done it before. He did it a little bit with Walker last season. He took him out the firing line. So we could have a Kanji there. We could have Stones there. You know, we could have Gvardiol or Aki on the left. We're not in that position at the moment. If you look at our squad, I'd probably say we've got the best squad of players in the Premier League, bar none. However, it's only the best performing squad if they're injury free. And at the moment, they're not. I'm not blaming everything on injuries. There is some players out of form, but the reasons behind them, in my opinion, is A, the stick they're getting, and B, they're playing too many games out of form. And Pep's got no choice but to play him. De Bruyne will come out with a statement, was it in midweek or something, about his, coming back from injury. And he says, sometimes, we're playing injured because there's no other option. Now, if I had a broken ankle, it's going to take me longer to walk to the Etihad than it is if I didn't have a broken ankle. And that's the same on a 50-50 ball. That's the same on a little sprint with a player. There's reasons behind everything. I'm not a happy clapper. Yeah, I think we've been dog shit some of the games this season. However, I won't lower myself to start atting whatever player and giving them absolute dog's abuse on social media. Overall, yesterday, a point away to Palace. Listen, what happened after that? Everybody thought United had, not that I care, United had roll over Forest. Everyone thought Arsenal would roll over Fulham today. Football
are a good team.
Football doesn't work that way.
But you know what it is, Andy, and what it strikes me as it is, as regards City, is it's a perfect storm. It's a combination of a good few players being out of form, good few players coming back from injury, and a good few players out permanently with injury. So it's a perfect storm. So sometimes you just have to buckle up and enjoy the ride, you know. Like nobody knows. The only one that knows are the players themselves, the medical team, and Pep. What them fellas could be having injections, pain-killing injections. They play. Kevin De Bruyne played how many months off? Was it last season before he came off from the Champions League injured?
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out he had been injured for the last 6, 7, 8 months, and he was playing through pain. So nobody actually knows, you know. Look, it's not great. The optics is not great. The team are not clicking. We all know that. But we're judging the team against what we've come to expect of the team. Are we there at the moment? No, we're a million miles away from it. But as I say, it is a perfect storm with injuries and permanent injuries, coming back from injuries, and players being out of form. But I do think Diaz has made a hell of a difference.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. I just, in times of need, everyone just needs to fit together, don't they?
That's it.
Yeah.
We don't
we mentioned this though last week, didn't we? That if you're losing KDB, you're losing Rodri, you're losing Diaz, you've lost the spine of the team. I will absolutely 100% guarantee you, if Liverpool didn't have Van Dijk, anyone in their midfield, and Salah, they would not be where they are now, without a shadow of a doubt. So, yes, we do have the best squad when everyone's fit. But the thing is, and people often overlook that, all the teams now have got players, because there's so much money in the Premier League. They've got players who can turn a game, because they can outbid just about everybody on the continent and get these unknown gems that are well known on the continent for prices that they can afford, which has pulled the whole division up. It's what it is. You're not going to get away with quite as many wins as you used to do if you don't have the full squad and you're not on top of your game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all right, Walker's had a bit of a decline. Walker's passing's not as crisp as it once was.
Oh, here we go. Walker's crisp. I got it. And I got your joke when you said it on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was as well.
No, it's well worth repeating.
What a salty joke that
is. It comes back to what Paddy says. It's a perfect storm that they've won 4 on the bounce. The psychology behind that, where you've got to go again. You've got to go again each week. Don't matter how much money you earn. If your ligament's gone, your ligament's gone. You're not playing. End of. You can play with an injection, damage it more, and then be off for even longer. So, because so many people are injured, you haven't got that luxury of being able to, patch up a couple of players and
on top
give them a bit of time off.
On top of that, as well as the injuries, you've got the 2 other additions of players being out of form.
Yeah. And having to play.
And confidence play. It's like what Kathy's put there. And you know something, Kathy, I thought about this after the Palace match yesterday before I went out and got slaughtered. Now, Rico will serve a 1-match ban. I think that might be a blessing in disguise for Rico, because he's another one who's being targeted a little bit. One of our kids is being targeted a little bit. But people want to see more of our kids come in the team. I just don't get it. So it might be a blessing in disguise for Rico if we can get 1, possibly 2 back for the weekend, because it's only United, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what United are going to do? They'll turn on the 1970 Brazil against us, like the rest of them do.
No, they'll turn into prime Tottenham.
No, I've had a word with Pep. He's going to be sending the Nottingham Forest team out against United in the derby next week. Well, it's right though, isn't it? It's just, well, let's have a bit of perspective. Yeah, we're not happy clappers. We're all pissed off as much as the next man, but you know, we do these shows because we're passionate fans, but we're also not stupid in the fact where we can have a laugh along the way as well, because that's what City's been built on, you know, and a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, but going back to a couple of weeks ago, Andy, what you said, like that 20-man squad or 22-man squad at the start of the season, we were all happy to start the season with that 22-man squad. It's decimated now. You know, it's decimated with players being off form or injured and semi-injured. It happens. You know, hindsight's great. Oh, we should have bought somebody for a replacement for Rodri. Oh, we should have bought this. We should have bought that. You know, where was your crystal ball? You know, nobody knew Rodri was going to be pulling an ACL. Nobody knew Contributors was going to get injured. So that was Rodri's replacement injured. And now we're playing with a fella who hasn't played in the Premiership in 12 months. And I don't care what they say about that Spanish league. It's not at the pace and the temperament of the Premier League.
Right, going back to the game yesterday, did anybody think that was a penalty for us, that Rico yellow, second yellow?
I thought VAR was supposed, I know it was a second yellow, and you're not supposed to use VAR or whatever for second yellows, but I thought VAR was for clear and obvious errors. And that was a clear and obvious error yesterday, in my book.
Considering we saw a worse one today with Casado for
You've seen two of them today, two.
Yeah.
The one with the and that forearm smash on Latvia.
Latvia? He did a forearm smash on a country.
Yeah.
What? On the whole of Latvia?
Yeah, all of it. And they took him off at half time. They took the whole country off. We could be doing with him now after selling him to Southampton.
But that's what we keep saying. And even the way Cole Palmer scored two today, and that we should have never let him go. When we let the country go to Southampton, Latvia.
Exactly. Can I just stop you there, Andy?
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
We let them players go. But if them players, Palmer and Latvia, were in that middle of that park for us and they weren't performing, they would get the same dogged abuse that Rico Lewis is getting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should have farmed him out. Oh, we should have let him go to Burnley. We should have let him do this. We should have. Really? Is that the way you live your life? You make a decision, you stick by it, and you go for it, for better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
In health and sickness.
Whose story that?
Talking about circuses, I see Dan Ashford's been sacked at United.
5 months. 5 months.
5 months. We're in it together, eh?
And the botheration they went to get him from Newcastle.
No.
Oh dear, I don't give a shit. How shit Man City are, they'd always make me laugh.
And you know something? We are going through a bit of turmoil and stuff like that, but we can't forget certain things, can we?
Manchester United.
And that's it. And that's what I love about not just the way we have a laugh and stuff like that, but the guys in the chat as well, because they're on our level. And I've said this to people even on social media today. Yeah, we're not the biggest channel, we're not the best channel, but what I will say is we don't get the views others do because we don't do the clickbait shit where we want to draw attention and have headlines like Walker's something what looks like his surname and stuff like that. We don't do that. We're just honest and genuine in what we do. We're fans of it. Aren't we, guys?
20-man squad, and it's one player everyone focuses on.
And we're 2 points behind title favourites at the start of the season, Arsenal.
And we're in crisis.
With God knows what. What was your thoughts yesterday?
And the other thing,
Stan, what was your thoughts on the match overall yesterday?
It's disappointing to get the draw, but Palace, we've had problems with Palace in the past when we've been, trundled into Premier Leagues. It's
Liverpool.
frustrating. It's frustrating, but we did well, bearing in mind, like I say, we've got no confidence. We've got half the team out and everything's wrong. And we've battled back twice to get the point. That's all right. Normally people say, well, it's not good enough, but we're not in normal times at the moment. I mean, what do people want to say? You know, it's unacceptable. It's this, it's that. Just, well, write a strongly worded letter to your MP and get it changed. It's, what can you do? Do you not think they're on the training field trying to sort things out? Do people not think that these guys haven't, like as Diaz said, you know, what you're losing, do you think you're going to be able to sort it out? Well, we've won the league. We will sort it out. But it's not going to be quick fix till you get everybody back. I can't see us going in January and getting 3 or 4 new signings because they're going to be, we just don't do that anymore.
I can see too.
No, but people are saying like, yeah, but if you listen to people, we need Walker replacing, we need Gundogan replacing, we need Lewis replacing, we need Pep replacing, we need the Stand replacing, Shirley the hot dog woman, she needs going. 15 of the stewards are a waste of time. The whole place needs rebuilding. It ain't going to happen.
I actually agree with some of the stewards are a waste of time.
We only need, you know, we're only going to get out 1, maybe 2, because the price of them is going to be unbelievable. And the only people that will sell are people who are in teams that aren't in Europe. Or look as though they might be having a relegation scrap. You're not going to sell your players then, are you? If you've got a chance to get in Europe or you've got a chance of winning something in Europe, why are you going to sell?
Stan, do you agree with Big Morg there? Walker's problem is Paddy. I agree with that.
Did he say too many beef injections? Go back to that.
Yeah, beef and onion. Walker's beef and onion injections for his crisp passing. Like EH says there, City have no good wingers. Do you know something? We've not got Sané. We've not got Sané. We've not got Sterling. Players of that ilk, what we used to. But you know, so I wouldn't say we've not got rubbish wingers. What I will say is we've got different wingers now. We've not got pacey wingers. We don't play with pacey wingers. Our game's not set up for pacey wingers. What I will say is you've got players who control it like Jack.
Mahrez.
Right. Yeah, and you know something? I'm not a huge fan of Doku. However, I was very, very complimentary about it. Wanted in midweek, Stan. I just thought that was probably Doku's best game for us in midweek. The way he just that he didn't, and I keep saying it. He didn't go down the left, whip a ball in, and knock a burger out of somebody's hands like he normally does, or a drink. What he did, he took him to the byline, come in, and then crossed the ball with his right. And De Bruyne, our second goal for De Bruyne, it just showed that with controlled football, pace and control together, you can be successful rather than just go round somebody and whack it into Rosette and not stand pie out of his hand.
Blimey, that cross that.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that comment. Like,
well, tell us why then.
Well, like for me, you have Grealish, you have Buckle, you have Silva, you have Oscar Bob when he's back, you have Savinio. Like, they're great wingers. Like them 2 young lads. Savinio has to be given a chance to grow into that team.
And we forgot Oscar Bob as well.
So them 2 have to be given a chance to grow in that team. We've seen what Oscar Bob can do when he's at himself against Newcastle, the way he took that goal. So he's a good winger. Jack Grealish, you can't get the ball off him. He controls games. He's a good winger. Do you mean a good winger as in Usain Bolt running up and down the wing? No, them days are gone. We play controlled football. It's not chaos, heavy metal football anymore. It's slow, controlled, build up.
What are we on about football? Are we on about football there, Paddy?
It's in the Pep's philosophy, isn't it? the opposition can't score if they don't have the ball.
I agree with Steve Lewis there. I reckon it's Stan's fault. All these salty jokes about Walker, not having been as crisp as he used to be.
Yeah, Stan, that's a bit cheesy.
Yeah. To be fair, though, he did get smoked at Tuesday, didn't he?
He's in a bit of a pickle at the minute.
What a cheesy joke that is. Anyway.
Do you reckon his mentality is quavering?
He used to be smooth, now he's a bit ridged.
Steve Lewis said, I consider Grealish a number 8 now. You know something? I thought Grealish was absolutely brilliant in midweek.
There's the thing, Andy.
I thought he was really, really good. I thought the way he controlled the ball, the way he dropped in left when he needed to, the way he sort of like got that winger drop back mentality, where he knows where he needs to fill in. And I just thought it was brilliant on Tuesday.
There's a thing I seen today when I'm back online after my little digital detox.
Sorry?
When I'm back online today, because I was offline there for 5 or 6 days, I seen a comment and I thought, you know what? That's 100% right. Jack Grealish on Wednesday night didn't assist a goal, didn't score a goal, and did nothing compared to that new fandangle crap XG. But he controlled that game. He absolutely controlled that game.
Mm-hmm.
But in stats, do you look at stats? Jack Grealish had no stats, but still, he conducted that in the centre of that park.
Blue Art says Stan is spot on. Trouble is, common sense like his is a rare thing in some of the glory hunting new City fans. I wouldn't say it's just glory hunting new City fans as well, mate, to be honest. You know what? I'm seeing it with the really, really, really old generation. Not as old as Paddy, but, of that ilk as well. It's not just the new City fans. We need to, in my opinion, we need to lose this old City fans versus new City fans, young City fans, because we've all got a common interest, and that's the club that we love, but I just feel like this certain quarters people are doing clicks for putting a bit of hate and controversy against the club they profess to love for the sake of earning a few quid, and I'm not into that.
Yeah, but as you say,
no, you're right.
Common sense is not very common.
You're right.
No, listen. There was no dig on Martin or anybody in particular there, Steve. Jesus Christ. Don't start causing wars. Jesus. No, I'm just making an example because I'll be honest, it's few and far between City creators what I subscribe to on YouTube. There's one or two what are really, really good. And there's people have learned to start to like because they're starting to talk common sense. Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. So it wasn't a dig at anybody in particular. I assure you that. And I had a good chat with Martin today, by the way. That shut that one down, didn't it? Kathy said we should remember that some players are on the pitch with injections. Exactly. Remember Tommy Smith, defender for Liverpool, was like a hip, hip, 2 knee replacements, etc. Ended up in a wheelchair before his death. Yeah, and there was players like Paul McGrath as well, weren't they? And players like that. And look at, it's not just physical problems like that. You've also got players of the past like Gary Mabbott, who was type 1 diabetic, who had a bloody fantastic career, and same as Steve Redgrave. This it's how you look after yourself, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But FIFA says yesterday, I think he's on about yesterday, no pen. Nick says not a pen for me, but defo not a second yellow card. Again, it's all respected opinions. But I do feel, something. We've not even really spoke about the match, to be honest, because a little bit of frustrations come out with me tonight, which is not like me. Is it?
But we battled well, Andy, in that match. We battled well. You can't like the heads didn't go down. We came from behind twice. There is fighting spirit in that team, but unfortunately, Father Time has caught up with a few of them, and injuries are caught up with a few more. Will we live to fight another day? Absolutely. We absolutely. If this season we went on to qualify for the Champions League, a couple of good runs there in the FA Cup, or even in the Champions League, and then a few additions then in the summer, and we go again. So
Not the summer.
If we want it then the next year, that would be what, 7 from 9, is it? If you were after that 10 years ago, would you take it?
But Paddy, but it's like you're thinking we've got a right to win it 7 in 9. We've not, mate.
But I'm saying like we regroup this year, and we consolidate what we have in terms of the good players and the ones that Father Time has caught up on. We leave them out the pasture with respect, and thank them for their service, and then we come on then with the next generation, and the chances are, looking at the way that league is this year and looking at the way it has been for the last number of years, I don't think anyone will touch us.
Keith says we can laugh at Ashworth going, but does anyone think they might do the dirty and get him to renege on coming to a serious question?
I think you mean the Portuguese fella. The way that reads, Ashworth's coming to City, but I think you mean the Portuguese, like Vianney. Is that right, Keith? You mean Vianney?
Yeah,
I'd be very surprised if we haven't got a watertight contract with him.
I wouldn't want damaged goods anyway.
No,
to be honest with you, if Vianney did change his mind and what have you, then he's not worth having. And I would get Ashworth. I would get Ashworth in then, because Ashworth is pretty decent. I think Vianney might be better at digging out Portuguese players, but we've got enough Portuguese players within the team anyway to tell us who's good or who isn't good. Yeah. And Ashford's done a great job with his blueprint on revolutionising the England team. I mean, all right, we have the waistcoat and, we've got the monkeys up at the top, but the players that are coming through, there's nothing wrong with them.
No,
and he put that in. That's what you need.
And you can understand Pep's reluctance to start like blood any more of the youngsters what are even in the squad because of probably the word on the street, the way Rico is being treated a little bit. But Kathy says Stan heard that Old Trafford is holding the next synchronized swimming. Well, I tell you what, Kathy, it's not Old Trafford's not a million miles away from the what is it? The aquatic centre.
The Ashley Young School of Diving.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Gordon says, I'm sure everyone here will be right behind the team at the end of the season, no matter what. 4 in a row, no one will see it again. Listen, you're absolutely right.
We will.
We're going through a tough time.
We will.
I don't think we're out of the title. Do you two?
My words, Gordon. That 4 in a row will be seen again, and we will do it.
But don't dodge the question. Do you think we're out of the title race?
No.
I like that, Stan. I like that. Paddy?
Because I'll tell you why, right?
Go on.
We're probably at the nadir of the last 10 years at the moment.
The what?
And yet, the nadir of the last 10 years.
Could you spell that?
And yet, you're going to like this. This is the power of positive thoughts. We are now on a 2-match unbeaten run.
Yeah.
We're only 49 short of where we were about a month ago, right? And every journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first 2 steps, and that's where we are now. So, and I tell you what, if we get to the middle of February and we haven't lost, we'll win the league, because this will be like a train flying, and every team's going to be thinking, oh, Christ, here they go again, getting the momentum at the right time and going, woof. And by that time, Aki will be back, Kanji will be back, Stones will be back, Bob will be back, De Bruyne will have had minutes in him, Grealish will have had minutes in him, Doku will have had minutes in him, Savinho will be there, and they'll all start moving along. Diaz will be king imperious at the back, and Ireland will have his gang back, and he'll be whacking in goals again. Job done. That's it.
Stan,
we'll see you next year.
Stan, what does that scrolling ticker say?
Hey, you're laughing. It's only what I said on Tuesday night. Just need a bit of encouragement. Only need encouragement.
And that's what I'll
put a disclaimer in there. I might be wrong, but I very rarely am.
I forgot.
He was wrong in 1975.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if we're in the mix come the end of January, the league is ours.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Are we on the same medication, Paddy? We must be.
I think we should send a bit over to Andy. He could be doing it.
Jack G, a good winger, lol, give over. I think what Jack does is effective to what Pep asks him to do.
Imagine that. Imagine the players doing what Pep tells them to do. What do you think Rico Lewis finds himself in the middle of the park all the time instead of defending? Do you think if Pep wanted him back defending and he was up in the middle of the park, do you know how long that would last before he got hooked and benched? He's doing Pep.
Do you imagine being a winger in a treble-winning team and then being decided you're not that good?
Considering he pulled us through the second half of that season.
Yeah, what does they say, Stan? Eating bread is soon forgotten.
Yes. The thing with Jack Grealish and some of our players with our own fans is if they walked across the river, it's because they can't win.
Stan, hang on a minute. Paddy, what?
Eating bread is soon forgotten. Mark 7, chapter 13, and the Lord said...
What is it? Fucking songs of praise? Is it songs of live songs of praise? This or what?
It's Bible hour.
I tell you what, there's not much singing. There's not much singing and praising. There's not much singing and praising going on at the moment. Anyway, is there?
No.
I don't know. There's a lot of us going, Jesus Christ, it can't get any worse.
That's not praise, though, that is it?
Oh, Jesus Christ. And that's what I love about this. That's what I love about you. In fact, that's the only thing I love about you.
Well, somebody has to love us.
Blue Art says, Super Jack looks like he's far happier playing in the middle. But can that lad keep the ball and win fouls? Great player. Absolutely. Listen, I'm a huge Jack Grealish fan. Everyone, if somebody puts the word winger, automatically you think you're just going to be like a Sané. No, what did he say, Stan, about keys and locks, my friend?
Oh, yes.
No, that's true.
They opened up the key on Sunday and they let Stan.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
It's different.
Yeah, no, it's right, isn't it? This is why we don't have them super speedy wingers anymore. What's the point of having a super speedy winger when you've got 11 men behind the ball, all nailed into like the 6-yard box? Where do you think the ball's going when the guy's sat on the 18-yard line? Pointless. You need guys who are technically good, can shot the ball in one go and then move in and move out, depending on how and when the defence is set up so we can circulate the ball. I don't know. I don't understand how people can't see that.
Yeah, I know.
Some of this stuff, like bordering on give it to Gordon mentality.
Give it to Gordon?
Leave Gordon alone. Gordon's a friend of the show.
Gordon?
Our
friend Gordon?
No. He's a rag, isn't
he? see how quick I am there with the links, mate. Mark Burns says, but the old City fans remember the bad, good days. And I get why you've put the good in brackets as well, because people think I'm bonkers when I go on about that, the good old bad days. I would rather go back now and go to Scarborough again. There's a lot of fans like that, but we've all got to stick together as fans and just, you know, but we're never going to, because we're in the world of social media, and you know, you have shows like this and other shows and stuff like that. Who
imagine social media and Alan Ball in charge, or Frank Clark, or even Steve Coppell. By the time you've typed the tweet out, it'll left. Maxwell Mort says, I think everyone knows Walker has to go, but there's no need for people to call him a terrorist. Absolutely. That's exactly my point. That is exactly my point, mate. And that's why I get called a happy clapper, you know, or you'll back Walker no matter what. No, it's not a case of backing him no matter what. It's about knowing what's right from wrong. And people putting a terrorist bloody vest on him and stuff like that, even your own fans doing that, I just don't understand the mentality of it. I really don't. Why don't they put a vest on Pep? Because he keeps picking him.
Or you could put some sort of vest on Stan.
My God, that's a rough lot if ever I've seen one. The state of him. This place is going right down murky.
You can't talk to me like that. My father.
It's just poetry, isn't it? It's just poetry. By the way, Stan actually wore that hat for the match in midweek, didn't you, mate?
I did, yeah. Along with the bottles. Is that an Indian restaurant?
Oh, man alive.
Thank you, Blue Art.
Used to have made my hangover even worse tonight. Blue Art says, yes, Stan, stick the boot right in. City, best team in the land and all the world. And you know,
that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear.
Martin says, Wednesday's game is vital. Can't afford a loss. We can't, because that is a total fact. We can't, because it's not as if we're cruising in the Champions League either. You know, but although I've not given up the league or any of the competitions we're in
before Christmas.
Tell you what, it goes back to what we were saying on Tuesday, wasn't it, Andy? Though, if we won the Champions League and then they relegated us, our fixture list next year would be Fleetwood away, Bury at home, Bayern Munich away, Gravesend at home. Yeah.
Imagine it.
Then up to Ali.
Then Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Imagine. Listen. Stockport away, Real Madrid away, then a tough one, Altrincham at home or something mental like that. It'd be great, that. Oh, but
big derby. The Robins at home.
Stan, if it was Altrincham at home, then Anthony Taylor wouldn't be able to referee us, because apparently he's an Altrincham fan.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's on that list, is he? He don't do those games down there, so we're all right.
So tell us in the chat. What would it be a little? Listen, we love what we're winning and stuff like that. Would you love to see us get relegated to, say, the Conference League, and we have them sort of like scenarios, sort of like Gravesend away, followed by Real Madrid away, and then say Stockport at home? You know, the teams at whatever in the conference. That would just be so funny, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't. Spend too many years down there.
Come on, there must be a bit of the screwed upness in your head. What thinks I'd be up for a bit of that.
But the pies are
I think
the pies are 100% better down there.
What are you trying to say?
Oh.
Why did you just breathe in there?
Out of breath breathing in then, mate. Steve says, my dad just turned 65, big City fan. I assure you he prefers winning everything these days than 20 years ago. Yeah,
I bet he does.
Yeah, he does.
I bet his blood pressure is normal.
But would he like playing Gravesend away and then Stockport at home?
We all, I mean, to be fair, Steve, we all do, but we all do, to be fair, Steve. But at the end of the day, it's a little bit of nostalgia and a little bit of, you know, things aren't going great at the moment. So you can have a little reflection on what's going on and everything. So, to be honest, Stuart, I did the same thing. I wrote to Alan Ball saying what's going on.
Yeah, but you also
and he wrote back to me as well. Handwritten from himself. So,
to be fair, you also wrote to Jim will fix it as
he
well.
was fair play to him. He must have had about 30,000 of them every week.
Oh, God, did he fax it you back, Stan?
No, came in this self-addressed envelope that I sent to him.
Did he still use faxes and stuff these days? You know, like it used to be transfer deadline day. Oh, it's been faxed over to whoever. I don't know.
No, I think they'll use email, mate. It's quicker than it. PDFs and all that.
Not with you typing it, it's not. I've seen the way you type your messages and stuff. We'd miss out on some deals.
Dear Mr. Ashworth.
We need to start the summer paperwork in January.
Yeah. Oh, Kathy says, Andy, it's because the chat gets behind on what you're saying. Can't remember what they all refer to now. Well, I can't now. Oh.
I won't worry, Kathy. I won't worry, Kathy, with that. Yeah. I feel sorry for Andy anyway, because he gives us an hour's script to stick to. And it lasts about 3 seconds and then no one's got a clue what's going on.
Stan's script is hello, and he still doesn't even get that right.
Our script is like City's defense all over the place.
and that's why we very rarely have sort of like an agenda what to talk to and stuff like that, because it's easy to go off. I much prefer us to go backwards and forwards and just chat how fans would in a pub and stuff like that. Oh, what was it last night? Me mate was steaming, both City fans, 2 United fans. Now, I've not played pool for years, and to be honest, I wasn't in much of a condition to play pool last night. However, couldn't miss the opportunity to play doubles. Oh, we smashed them all over, I think.
You think?
And I remember potting the black. In fact, I potted the black before some of the other colours in one game, but that's another story. And that's what it's about, in it, old school banter, like in a pub.
You know, but you're not allowed to be like that now. Now you have to be an accountant and then a forensic accountant and a barrister and. I
thought you said incontinent. Then I've had. How do you know? Not an accountant. Incontinent. And Stan's there going like, I'm checking his colostomy bag.
Could be worse. He could be checking his incontinence pad.
Andrew says, did Stan have his tag on when you was at the game on Wednesday? He did, mate. He did. Something we've said.
Upset, Stan.
See what you've done now, Andrew.
It's nearly 8:05. They've come from Broadmoor to take him back.
Yeah. Mine says, talk about Alan Ball. I was at Stoke when the old ground was abusing him. Even the Stoke fans.
Yeah. Alan Ball, you'll one beep beep all.
Stan's just filling up by the looks of it. Oh, dearie me. Listen, listen, guys. You know I love to spend time on here, but I'm really, really hungover, and here he is. Hang on, Stan. Have you been filling up?
Yeah. No, mate. I've just been to the bar.
The bar.
Oh,
You
buy
to-
your own again. Jesus Christ. You probably peel an orange in your pocket, you.
Yeah.
He'd peel a melon in his pockets.
Fucking like a dentist, he's pulling them out in onesies.
Listen, guys, we will park it there for that. Listen, huge game in midweek against Juventus, and then this time next week we're going to know whether we've beat the Rags, aren't we?
Hate playing them.
I do. It could actually be any score, couldn't it, next week?
Well, if they give Rashford half the park they run, in they?
But it could be, couldn't it? Seriously, next week's scoreline could be 0-0 and it could be 17-14 or something.
I'd love to beat them 10.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, mate. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Says, have a drink of Coke. That's what my boss did for hangovers. I normally do, you know, Kathy. What I normally do is I open a can of Coke before I go to bed. So the Coke is flat because flat Coke's supposed to be all right for you. Paddy won't endorse it though. No. He tells me off when I drink stuff I shouldn't be.
You should be drinking water.
No, Moretti. So, guys,
We've had enough of that.
that's true story, that mate. Are you hopeful for Wednesday? Is it Wednesday, isn't it? Uve away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that old adage. We just need to take one game at a time.
Yeah.
We really have. We can't focus too much.
Let's go back to your Bible class. One day at a time, sweet Jesus.
And I know who sung that. Lena Martell. Wow. Am I right?
I haven't a clue.
Yeah. The only thing I know, my mum used to absolutely love her for some reason, but there you go. Kathy says, bye, the three amigos. Goodbye, everybody. Listen, thanks for joining us, Paddy and Max. And Stan. Always a pleasure, never a chore. And again, all the sensible people in the chat and even some of the non-sensible people, thanks for joining us, spending an hour of your Sunday evening. And we will do it again. When will we do it again?
When we beat the Rags.
Stan doesn't know, does he? It sounds like the what is it now? Was it the Smash advert? That darling.
The internet in Broadmoor is not good.
I'll take your word for that. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will do it again next week. Win or lose, we will still have a laugh on our show. Have a great week, all, whatever you're doing.
Bye, folks.
Speak soon.